All right, we've all been there. The beige bra of wines. The wine that you come back to over and over again. It's easy, you don't have to think. It's comfy, it's cozy. We know it's gonna work. But sometimes, friends, we don't want to just go back to the beige bra of wines over and over again, right? We want to step out. We want something that's exciting and different. I'm going to tell you today what I think the beige bra of wines is and how you can step out of your comfort zone. Hi friends, and welcome to the Wine CEO podcast channel. My name is Sarah and I'm a certified sommelier and host of this channel. And each week I try to bring a new wine topic your way that helps you learn and grow in new and exciting ways. With over 10 years in the industry and now 3 years of podcasting, I love bringing wine content that is fun and approachable for the average consumer. From traveling all over the world to experience wine regions, interviewing winemakers, and sharing some tips and tricks along the way, I love being here as your personal sommelier so that I can help you learn and grow and push away those days where wine was intimidating and you didn't know what to buy in the grocery store or how to pick a wine on a wine list at a restaurant. Each week you can listen and follow along, growing in your wine journey with free and fun content right here on the Wine CEO podcast. All right, friends, so I'm gonna be a little harsh here. Clearly the beige bra of wines had to be a white wine. And I feel like some people might hate this episode and they may be upset. And if you are, please drop a note in the comments. I would love to start a conversation. I think a lot of people probably would have said that the beige bra of wines had to be Chardonnay, but I disagree. Because I think Chardonnay, which we will talk about in another episode, Chardonnay can be really polarizing. And so I think some people love it or hate it. So I couldn't call that the beige bra of wines. Again, a beige bra is something that like everyone has to have. It's a staple in their closet. And I'm so sorry to any male followers that are like, Sarah, this episode is like making me uncomfortable. So I apologize. It was a good picture for what this wine I think really brings to a lot of people. But I think it's something that you don't even think about. You just order and you know it's going to be fine. Like, you know, you're going to enjoy it. It's easy. It goes with like a lot of food out there. So it just makes for a really easy wine. And it's something that you don't have to think twice about. But for me personally, I think that a lot of wine is getting to explore new things, enjoy new things, and push yourself outside of your comfort zone. So for me, the beige bra of wines is Pinot Grigio. I think in the US, Pinot Grigio has kind of become this go-to white wine that is just easy. You sit down in a restaurant, you haven't even looked at the wine list, and you're like, okay, it's hot out, or I just want something refreshing, but I'm gonna order a wine. And you just say, I'll just have a glass of Pinot Grigio. And for many people, I've found that whether it's a wedding or a special event, Pinot Grigio is always on the list, right? If you're gonna have two wines, you're gonna pick Pinot Grigio because again, Chardonnay can sometimes be a little polarizing for some audiences, and Pinot Grigio is easy. You know, everyone's gonna love it. Again, it's light, crisp, and refreshing. The citrus notes make it pair with most food items fairly well, and you know most people are gonna like it. So it's super easy, right? It's a quick and easy pick. But I think that because of that, unfortunately, the popularity of Pinot Grigio has led to some less than quality Pinot Grigios out in the market. And so you can go to the grocery store and you can find a plethora of options, or you can go to your local wine market and also find a lot of options. But you're gonna find some not so great quality ones, and then you're gonna find some really amazing quality ones at all different price points. And so I think this has led to Pinot Grigio kind of having this like meh, bland reputation of like, it's fine, but it's just not very exciting. And I do think that there are some amazing Pinot Grigios out there. I've talked on this channel before about how, first of all, you have Pinot Gris, which is the same grape, but it's the French name for it. Pinot Gris coming from Alsace is phenomenal. You can have some amazing examples of Pinot Gris that have phenomenal fruit characteristics, that have incredible aromas that are so different than Pinot Grigios that you might find from Italy or from the US. And so I actually feel like Alsace is a really great region where you can find great price points points for the quality of wine you're going to get. But even if we're talking Italy, you can find some amazing examples that are coming out of Friuli Venezia Giulia. You can find some amazing Pinot Grigios in the northern regions, right? And so you can find some outstanding Pinot Grigios, but I've just found that the average person, when they are ordering a Pinot Grigio, they're doing it because it's out of a place of comfort. They're doing it because it's easy, and they're not necessarily doing it because they're looking to try a unique new producer from a region that they're not as familiar with an old tried and true grape variety. So here are my tips for you if you have found yourself in that beige bra rut of reaching for a glass of Pinot Grigio most of the time. First up, if you love Pinot Grigio because you really enjoy the grape variety, try Pinot Grigio from some other regions. Maybe instead of going for Italy, or if you've enjoyed Alsatian Pinot Gris from France, maybe try a Pinot Gris from Germany. Try an Oregon Pinot Gris. Did you know that Canada is making Pinot Gris? So there's definitely some really exciting examples from other regions of the world that you could check out to kind of switch it up a little bit. But if in your typical restaurant or your local wine market, you're not able to find some of those other examples, let me give you a few other wines that I think you would enjoy. First up is Albarino. I love Albarino. It's also called Alvarinho in Portugal. This grape variety typically tends to be grown in Spain when it's Albarino, and again, Alvarinho for Portugal. But this grape is really light and zesty. It has a lot of citrus notes, and it's typically also known for a lot of salinity. It's grown near the ocean, and so you'll find that it's often paired with seafood, and it is a really amazing wine. It has great vegetal characteristics, so I find that whether it's in the summertime or any other part of the year where you're trying to pair it maybe with a salad or a dish with herbs in it, it's a really wonderful pairing, and obviously a great pairing with seafood, as I mentioned just a moment ago. You can also go for Vermentino. This is another white wine from Italy. Vermentino tends to have really herbal notes, but it's also very crisp, refreshing, and acidic. I love Vermentino when I'm pairing it with a light pasta dish, like a pesto pasta. Vermentino is also really good if you love caprese chicken. So doing a Vermentino as a substitute for Pinot Grigio is another way to get to enjoy another white wine from Italy, but veering away from your typical beige bra. All right, now my third and final recommendation for you, because I could probably go on for hours about all of the different alternatives to Pinot Grigio that are out there. There's a lot of great examples, but I'm giving you three so it's a little more achievable for you to go try these three options. My last recommendation is Assyrtiko. Now, Assyrtiko is a grape variety from Greece. It's actually native to Greece, and it is known for being a little more crisp and acidic and light and refreshing as well. It's not to say that there aren't examples out there that have been aged in oak barrels that might have a little more of a rounder characteristic to it, some of those toasted notes, but for the most part, Assyrtiko is known for being fermented in stainless steel, and if it's aged at all, it's aged in stainless steel or glass bottles, and so because of that, you're getting this really nice, crisp, and refreshing wine. Again, it's known for citrus characteristics, and it is also known for a little bit of salinity, so that kind of salt characteristic again, especially coming on the island of Santorini, where you're surrounded by salt water, there's going to be that amazing influence in the soil, in the terroir, and so that adds to the salinity for the grapes. But there are also amazing versions of Assyrtiko that are being made in Australia, in California. So you can find this grape variety as it's being grown in a lot of other regions as well. And Assyrtiko is another amazing example of wine to try outside of Pinot Grigio. So if you were looking for similar styles to Pinot Grigio, these are three really great examples of some wines that are light, crisp, and refreshing that maybe you haven't heard of before or are a little more off the beaten path that you can try instead of sticking with that same old beige bra every single day. Now, obviously, there's a lot of incredible wines out there. One of the things that I finish almost every episode saying is, I hope you drink something new and delicious this week. And I say that because, friends, there are so many amazing wines out there. And I'm not just talking about the great winemakers and producers that are using the same grape varieties, but maybe making them in a different style because of their personal, preference. There's so many grape varieties out there. There are hundreds of grape varieties. And then if you take each of those varieties and look at the many different regions that they're grown in and the different winemakers in each of those regions that are adding their special touch to it, you can try new wines all day, every day, and you will never be able to try every wine in the world in your whole lifetime. And that's one of the things that I love about wine, right? I mean, you can just continue exploring your whole life, trying new things, and you will never be bored. So it's definitely a really fun industry. And so I would encourage you, if you always go to the grocery store and you pick up that same bottle because it's tried and true, I know that's a safe bet, and I know that you're going to enjoy it, but try something new. Don't fall into your habits. Don't always go for the same grape variety, the same region, or the same bottle over and over again. It's okay to have our favorites. I have some favorite winemakers as well, but try something new. I know you won't regret it. And if you try something and you don't like it, try it again in a few months or in a few years, because chances are you could have something in the moment that is keeping you from liking that wine. Maybe it's the food that you paired it with, maybe it's the weather outside, maybe it's just the mood that you're in, but keep trying those grapes over and over again, because you'll be amazed how your palate can change over time and also how your preferences change over time. So I hope this was a fun episode that helped you learn a little bit more about some new wines you can be trying to step out of your comfort zone. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so now. If you loved today's episode, be sure to like it and share it with a friend. Follow me on Instagram at The Wine CEO. If you have any questions about this episode or wine in general, you can drop a comment below, or you can always send me an email, Sarah at The Wine CEO Podcast. And I hope this week you drink something new and delicious, friends, and I will catch you all in the next episode of The Wine CEO Podcast.